sit down and run through the off-campus series, because if you didn't know, these are books by Elle Kennedy. They came out quite a few years ago now, and they're finally getting their own TV show on Amazon Prime. So I thought it was probably best if I actually go through the book series, kind of giving my thoughts, kind of like the background history, and just give you a little insight to maybe what's coming to the Amazon series. Now obviously it's not going to be exactly the same, but it's always better in books. So let's go through the off-campus series by Elle Kennedy, and I'm just going to give you my review and my thoughts because I've been really wanting to do this, and I only finished the 5th book today. So let's do it. So the first book then is The Deal, and the story is between Hannah Wells and Garrett Graham. This is like the OG book, and everyone's going mental for the series because this is like the OG couple. Personally, this wasn't my favourite couple. It's so weird because I read these books like the last one I only finished today, and I really had to remember what happened because the last one is basically all of their stories like interlinked together, but we'll come to that in a sec. But yeah, this was Hannah and Garrett. I didn't love this story, but I still read it because I'd heard that the books after it were incredible. Now don't get me wrong, the spice in these books are chef's kiss. If you want a spicy book, if you want like a spicy hockey romance, which is the majority of these books, read the off-campus series. Like, it actually is incredible. It really reminded me of Icebreaker, which is one of my favourite, one of the first kind of hockey romances I got into. Icebreaker was just one of those books that did it for me. So whenever I came across this series about hockey romance, I was like, I want to give this a try. Really loved this. I just wouldn't say it was my favourite, but the spice was there, the storyline was there. It's kind of basically they create a deal to be, so he becomes her fake boyfriend because she wants to attract this other guy, but they end up falling in love. So kind of a little cliche kind of one, but let me get my actual rating. I have Goodreads and I would highly recommend it. The Deal, I gave 4 out of 5 stars for The Deal. I'm actually going to leave my Goodreads down below if you just want to have a little nosy at what I'm saying. They're not like professional reviews, I kind of just say whatever I'm thinking, but I will leave it down below. Next up then is The Mistake. This is with Logan and Grace. I really like this book. I'm kind of just looking at my Goodreads now. I gave this a 5 out of 5 star. I really loved it. This is definitely a smaller book. Like, you can tell that The Deal was pretty big compared to the next two. Really love this story. John Logan is, I just feel like he was a big teddy bear. He just reminded me of a big teddy bear, and they basically nearly slept together and he was trying to win her back, and they ended up becoming like friends, and it was like a really like wholesome little book. I feel like John Logan was he was very wholesome character, and he just reminded me of a big teddy bear. That's all I could really think of. Yeah, the way he pulled out all of the stops for Grace was insane. I feel like most of these books you'll read about, the guys really do go all out for the girls, and I feel like everyone deserves someone like that. And it maybe does put up expectations for you, and like whenever I say to people I read romance books, they're like, oh, I bet you have really high expectations. You should always have high expectations, not just for yourself, for anyone. You deserve the best. But yeah, I gave this a 5 out of 5 star. It was a great little read. Next up is The Score with Ali and Dean. Oh my god. Everyone has seen on my TikTok how much I raved about this book. This is... Please read this book. If you read the series, you will be most excited for this book. If you don't like this book, we can't be friends. That's just the way I say. Dean is a player. He is an actual player. In the frat house, he is the player, and like he's known for his crazy kind of sexual stuff. And then Ali is kind of like the introverted gal, but she comes into like contact with him, and yeah, I don't really understand the name, like The Score. I kind of get it, like yes, he scored her, but he gets what he wants. He gets what he wants in every single way. This book, the sexual energy in this book, but the fact that she meets the sexual energy, These two are literally perfect for each other. This one got a 5 out of 5. If I could give it, it was literally a 10 out of 10 for me. I give it in like 10 out of 10, but Goodreads is like 5 out of 5. 10 out of 10 this book was. It was actually incredible. I can't stop thinking about it because it was so, oh my god, there are some scenes that I cannot wait to see in the series. I'm sure everyone is thinking what I'm thinking of, the bathtub scene. The bathtub scene. It's not dirty, it's actually really, really funny. If you think I'm talking about dirty stuff, it's actually really, really funny. So yeah, I loved the score. The goal then is next. This is between Sabrina and Tucker. So Tucker was kind of like, so it's basically a bunch of like group of like guys who are hockey players and they all live in the same house, they're all friends, which I really, really love, which kind of reminded me of Icebreaker, and that's kind of how that series went down, which is what I love because all of these guys are like so wholesome, like yes, they're like kind of frat bros, but they all have like a part of them that whenever you read their book, you're like, oh my god, I love this character. Tucker was this for me. I just really didn't love this book. I didn't love the girl in this book, but it's maybe because she wasn't friends with the previous girls because they were all friends, but she just didn't really do it for me, and I actually really despised her as a character, which I didn't want to do. This book was also thicker as well, and I feel like the thicker ones are just not my favourite. I feel like the shorter ones I can go through and I'm like, I feel like these ones were maybe could have been thicker, whereas these were just lengthy and I just couldn't wait until they were finished. So this one was also a surprise pregnancy, which I did not love. I don't like this type of trope, and I feel like it's being normalised more in books and I hate it. That's maybe just my personal opinion. I can't imagine Tucker with a beard either. Like in my head he doesn't have a beard, but he has a beard in this book. So I didn't really love this one. Let me see what I gave it. So for the goal I gave it 3 out of 5. I just really didn't love it. I felt like I just wanted to get it over and done with. Personally I feel like the story should have just ended at this book, but we'll talk about that now. Finally is The Legacy. So this is the 5th and final book. This basically has different storylines, so it's all 4 books into one. I didn't think this book was necessary. Like, I feel like it should have just ended at the goal, and maybe had like an ending little like chapter that kind of just spoke about everyone's lives. So like basically this, but like in one chapter at the end of the last book. This was really unnecessary for me. I just didn't love it. I loved how, maybe we saw from like different perspectives, I love seeing Dean and Grace's chapters, but Sabrina and even Zara and Hannah's, I was like, this is actually so boring. Like, I thought there was going to be something a little more interesting. I thought they were all going to end together as like a group. This just didn't do it for me, and I actually got really, really sad because everyone was raving about how good this one was, and I was like, there's literally nothing to it. So I gave The Legacy 3 out of 5. And I feel like this is very valid because I read through some of the other reviews and they were just like, what was that? Literally, what was that? So that's probably like a really negative way to end this video, but I just didn't love it. That's just my personal opinion. I would really recommend reading the entire Off-Campus series because you just get a feel for the storylines and the spiciness. But yeah, that is my opinions on the Off-Campus series. It is a really, really good series. That's kind of just my opinions. I'm going to leave my Goodreads down below if you want to have a little nosy. I'm really, really excited for the Amazon Prime series. I feel like they shouldn't mess it up. Like, I hope they don't mess it up. But yeah, that was my opinions on the Off-Campus series, and I hope you have a great week day.